Welcome back, where we're talking about things that matter here at Size Matters. I'm Rosie Mercado.
And I'm Keith Webb. Welcome. So today's topic we are going to talk about is coming out of the fat closet. So
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah?
Tell us a little bit about that.
Coming out of the fat closet, to me, what I like to say is guys who are afraid to admit that they like big women and aren't really
tons of them.
A majority of them. Yeah, you know, and especially in like this, you know, the movement of, you know, loving your body and self-love, you know, a lot of women it's getting really good for the women. You know, there's a lot of women that aspire to these plus size models, like, wow, these women love their body, I want to love it too. But on the other side, for guys, there's not really much guys who's saying, hey, I love that too, you know. I mean, there are, but there's not as many as I feel like there could be.
Well, I think the opposite. I think there's tons of men. I really think that they're in the closet, and I think they're okay with being with those women when nobody's watching.
Right.
And I feel like there's a lot of complaints with that when that comes from women. They don't know how to deal with that, and they don't know if they should stick around, kick them to the curb, keep going. When did you come out of the fat closet? And what did you learn about that? Because it's interesting. I mean, it's...
Yeah, and you know, and I totally get the guys who are like ashamed of it. I'll say it, they're ashamed of it. I get, because I used to come from that.
Why? Why were you ashamed? Because of what your friends? I mean, what was it that triggered the
Because
shame?
of society. Because of society. Think about it for the women's side. Think about the women's side. You know how women, it takes time for women to love themselves and love their body because society tells them that they don't?
Yeah.
Same thing for a guy. I feel like guys were taught that it's weird for me to like a girl who is bigger, or because you don't see it in Hollywood, I don't see it in the tabloids, and you know, guys would make fun of me for it. But I realized.
What was that age though that you hit? Like, how old were you?
I was probably in my 20s. I was probably in my 20s.
Oh, wow.
I would say my early 20s when I slowly started to realize like this is what I like and this is something I need to live with, and not only live with but be proud of. You know.
Did you? I mean, you say slowly. So you knew like that you were attracted to that, but you're like, no, I don't like. I'm gonna ignore that, or you just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, it was something I didn't talk about, and it was something I slowly like accepted. Yeah, and I wouldn't talk about it, and I would take girls out, but I wouldn't like, you know, promote it or anything like that. It took me time, but when I like finally realized it was the first girl like I actually like fell in love with, you know.
Oh, you fell in love with her.
Oh yeah, and I think honestly it was falling in love that made me realize that I need to be proud of what I like, because I do. Like when I was with her, oh, I was so proud and I was in love with her, and I realized like, listen, I don't care what you look like anymore, you know, I'm just so proud of being with you.
I just love you.
And I love showing you off, and that's kind of when I got to the point where it's like, you know what, life's too short. I love what I love, and I'm so proud of it, and you know, and I love women of all sizes, you know, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the great thing about you, but there's several men out there that do love women that are plus size, but they would love them behind closed doors. And the question is, how do you deal when you come to that, when it comes to dating? They don't want to go out publicly, but they're okay with you going out to dinner to their house and stuff like that. One of the biggest things that I've encountered is that if a man loves and respects you, he will be proud to hold your hand out in public. If he's not doing that and you're questioning that, then you should keep moving on and just know that the right man that loves and respects you will come at the right time.
Yes, but at the same point, make sure, give him some time. I say give him time. Don't totally shut the door, because it takes time. Just like it took a woman time to find herself and to love herself, it may take time for a guy. But get to know him. Get to know him. If he seems like a person who, you know, can change his thinking, and like, you know, is a person who is a loving person, just give it time. But if they're a guy, it's like nah, and they're like,
they're okay to have you over when nobody's watching, and that's about it, and that's all.
If it stays like that,
then you need to keep moving, keep moving it along. And I think it's also about clarity, knowing what you want, knowing what you're looking for, what you're willing to tolerate, and knowing your values when it comes to that. I mean, honestly, if they need time to grow, that's okay. You could be friends, let them go their journey, and you go your journey. And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And
another a really strong tip I'll leave with you is it goes back to confidence. When a woman knows she's confident, guys want that. Guys want that confidence, and when you know you're sexy, they think you're sexy too. Absolutely. And that's just nature to me. Any woman who walks into a bar or walks into an establishment and they're just owning it, we can sense that. Guys can sense it. I'm like, who?
Hello.
Who's confident? Right? No, that's exactly.
And it goes both ways, men and women.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
So make sure, stay confident, stay beautiful, and know who you are, what your value is, and if it's not working out, say bye-bye. But if it is, and it's someone that you love, talk it out. Communication is key also to finding out where's that coming from and understanding why, because I think a great point that you made is that it takes women, a couple years sometimes to become confident and love their own skin. And sometimes if it's new for them, communication is key.
Yeah, yeah. So just give it time, and like I said, love conquers all. If you really get to know somebody long enough, they'll start to accept you for who you are and not what you look like. So.
Absolutely. Ladies, thank you so much for watching Size Matters. This was all about
coming out of the fat closet. That's right.
Coming out of the fat closet. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and of course, we're going to be answering questions up ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So give your questions. You can do it down below on YouTube, or you can direct message us at Size Matters on Facebook.
Or direct message us on Instagram
at Keith Webb.
And Rosie Mercado.
This is Size Matters, and I'm Keith Webb.
Rosie Mercado, thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.